Hey, this is Frank from Frank and Tina, and I got this from one of our Facebook friends, Marsha Melton. She needs some help changing a breaker. So I'm going to show you how to change it just on this one, and let you see how to do it. First off, what we want you to do, this right here is your main breaker, the big one at the top. You want to turn that all the way off. Now, I'm not going to do that in this because Kaylee's in there on video games, and she'll kill me if I do. So I'm going to do this with it live, but I'm a licensed electrician, so I don't want any of y'all to do that. I want this thing off because everywhere in there can hurt you. Make sure you got shoes on. Make sure you're not around the water source. Take this is the way I take covers off. A lot of people get hurt from taking covers off too, even with the power off, so be careful. How I do it, I take the bottom two, then the top two out. And then we got to deal with just the metal ones. So I hold it with one arm like this and take the other arm, and I'm still holding the panel on. It means it's not slipping. This is real important because you don't want this thing to slip, to slide into those live bars on the inside, because it could get you hurt. So now that I've got them all out, this is how I do it. You grab it real careful, support the bottom and top, and pull straight out on it. Now that you've got the panel cover off, set it in the floor where it ain't gonna fall. And let's see where we're at. Okay, here are our breakers in the panel. So what they're wanting to change is probably a 30 amp. It's a dryer breaker. Let's say this one right here. So I'm gonna cut it off. And what you do, most breakers are gonna be this style. You're gonna take it and you're gonna just pull on it like this. If it won't go, you put a screwdriver right there real careful. Don't put it in there very far. Make sure this is off and kind of twist just a little bit, and it'll come up. It'll give, and then you can give and it'll pull off. You see these little things shot to the top and the bottom. See these little things right here? Those go in those pieces right there. These are the bus bars. They're hot. This piece right here goes one to that bus bar, one to that one. Now all you have to do to change this breaker, shine around this way, Tina, is you loosen that nut, that screw right there, take that wire off. Loosen that screw, take that wire off. Take the new breaker, put it on, tighten it onto this one, tighten it onto that one, get them nice and tight, and then put it back into place. You see, see those little hooks I got right there? We're gonna kick this back this way and hook them in there first, then rock it forward. Hold the thing on there, like that. Like, you see what I'm saying? And put it in there at an angle, hooking it on those hooks, on these in the back. Get it in there straight, and then pushing it on. Okay, now all you have to do, make sure they're all pushed in there tight. Cut the main back on, put the cover back on, then turn it on. That's all you gotta do. That's how you change a breaker. It's really not hard. Also, you see those numbers on the breakers? Those, the two ones, the ones that are two, that's a 240 or a 220 or a 240. It's really 240, but the old stuff said 220. And this is gonna be the 110s. See, it's double it. So you take 110 plus 110 is 220, or 120 plus 120 is 240. So that's what you've got here. This one's not, this is two 110s. See the difference? Now what you want to do is make sure that where that number is right there, where that says 20, that says 50, that says 30, 20, where you're replacing a breaker, make sure that number is the exact same on the one that you got. You absolutely have to do this. And then right here is usually where it'll tell you what kind of brand panel you've got. This is a Square D Homeline, that says it right there. That's exactly what you got to know to replace it. So anyway, if you're going to be putting a breaker in and you don't know what size breaker to put, maybe there's no number on it or whatever. You want to go with a 14 gauge wire. You can take a pair of strippers and it's got a gauge on it to tell you what size wire is what. 14 gauge goes to 15 amps. 12 gauge goes to 20 amps. You can look up on the internet NEC 310-16 and it'll give you a chart, and where you want to stay on the chart is around the 70 degrees Celsius column, and look and make sure that that's where you're going to be at. You want to get the brand breaker for the right panel. This is Square D Homeline. You can look on the cover and it'll tell you what you've got. It's probably either a GE, a Square D Homeline, a Siemens, a Bryant, a Challenger. Any of those are going to be the exact same as this. They're going to snap in, but you get the right breaker for the right one. The Cutler hammers, they'll go around the outside. They've got brown handles on them. Instead of going in the groove right there, it just wraps around the outside and snaps to. But it snaps to the exact way. QO, it snaps in a little different, but it still snaps in the same way. You may have something that has a bolt-on breaker. Or if you've got a Zensco or a Federal Pacific, you're going to need to change the panel. You don't want to leave that in your house. I'm one of the ones that's a firm believer to get rid of all Zenscos and Federal Pacifics. But anyway, Marsh, I hope this helped you, and I hope this helps somebody else. You need any more help, hit us up on Facebook, talk to us on YouTube. Be glad to help you any way we can, and y'all have a good evening. Thanks. Bye-bye.